Guys, imagine waking up at 2 a.m. and seeing a grown man in a security vest walking through your backyard like he owns the place. That happened to me. And trust me, your boy didn't stay quiet. I started digging. And what I found inside the HOA. Man, it was wilder than anything you've seen on this channel. Watch till the end. Hit that like button, and let's get into this chaos. The night was quiet. Too quiet for a neighborhood as nosy as mine. For weeks, I'd felt something strange happening on my property. Tools moved. My gate left unlatched. And twice, the side door to my shed wasn't the way I'd left it. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was forgetting. But on the third night, something snapped inside me. I set an old motion detector near the yard. Just something small. Something subtle. 2:14 a.m. it went off. My phone buzzed. The screen lighting up in the darkness. Motion detected backyard. I rubbed my eyes, half asleep. But what I saw next made every drop of sleep evaporate. The live cam feed showed a figure. Tall, bulky, wearing a reflective vest with the words patrol printed across the back. HOA patrol. On my lawn. At 2 a.m., the man's flashlight slid across the grass, scanning like he was searching for something. He checked my shed door, my windows, my gate, like he was casing the house. And then he said something. Quiet. Mumbled. But the mic caught it. Karen wants pictures of the side fence. My spine snapped straight. Karen. The HOA president. The same woman who once filed a complaint because my trash bin lid wasn't fully closed. Now she was sending her patrol into my backyard at night? I didn't charge outside. Not yet. I wanted to see how far he would go. And he went far. He pulled out his phone and snapped several photos of my shed, fence, and even looked through my back window. I clenched my jaw. My breath tightened. My hand hovered over the door handle. But then I let go. No. If I confronted him now, he'd deny everything. Karen would protect him. They'd twist it against me. They always did. So I let him walk out, for now. The next morning, the HOA email arrived. Subject: Notice of violation. Apparently, my fence was fading and violated community color standards. No inspection. No appointment. No permission. Just a violation. My blood boiled. I walked straight to the HOA office. And there she was, Karen. Her chin raised, mouth tight like she smelled something bad. Her eyes scanned me like I was an inconvenience to her kingdom. Your fence is non-compliant, she said without looking up. How did you inspect it? I asked calmly. We have patrols, she said. They follow community guidelines. At 2 in the morning, her head jerked up. Her eyes narrowed, freezing for a moment. A crack in her facade. Then she smiled, a thin, evil smile. Homeowners do not control when inspections occur. Her arrogance was breathtaking. But I didn't walk away angry. I walked away determined. That night, I installed a full camera system. Hidden ones. Angle covering ones. Ones that would make a private investigator proud. I didn't have to wait long. 2 days later, 1:56 a.m. Motion alert. The same patrol officer. Same vest. Same flashlight. Only this time he wasn't alone. On camera, he whispered into a phone. Yeah, Karen. The shed looks the same. I'll try to get a closer look. Yeah, I know. I'll check the windows. He leaned forward, trying to peek inside. I almost burst through that door. But again, I didn't. Evidence first. Confrontation later. He walked around my entire property, taking photos of everything. My grill. My steps. Even my AC unit. When he finally left, I sat in the dark living room, staring at the screen. He wasn't doing inspections. He was spying. And Karen was ordering it. The next day, 3 more HOA emails hit my inbox. 3 violations. All nonsense. All things only visible from being on my property. That's when I realized. This wasn't mismanagement. This wasn't Karen being power-hungry. This was targeted. I knew what I had to do, but I had no idea how deep this rabbit hole went. Until I followed the patrol officer myself. The patrol officer wasn't subtle. He drove the same golf cart-style security buggy every night, the one with the squeaky brakes and the terrible LED lights. That following night, I shadowed him from a distance. Not dangerous, not confrontational, just observing. He drove to the cul-de-sac, checked a few trash bins, pretended to inspect a mailbox. But then he did something strange. He pulled behind Karen's house. The buggy lights went off, and he walked inside. Not knocked, walked straight in, like he'd done it 1,000 times. This wasn't a working relationship. This was an alliance. And I suddenly understood everything. Karen wasn't just trying to control the community. She was using her patrol officer as her personal spy. A hired guard to invade yards, gather photos, and build violation cases so she could fine people into obedience. But why me? Why focus so hard on MY property? I got my answer sooner than expected. Because the next morning, a neighbor, Mrs. Hartley, slipped me something when Karen wasn't looking. A folded envelope. Inside, printed pages. Screenshots. Emails. Karen's emails. Sent to the patrol officer. And my jaw dropped. She was targeting me because I'd refused to join her beautification committee. Something I didn't even remember. Apparently, she believed every homeowner who refused her was dragging down her vision for the neighborhood. But deeper in those emails, I found something worse. She was approving illegal entry, ordering it, demanding photos, telling him what to find. Get pictures of anything that looks old or out of place. We need enough to force him into compliance fees. He needs to learn to respect HOA authority. Force me? Respect? She wanted control. That's when I knew evidence wasn't enough. I needed witnesses. I needed support. And I needed a plan. So I built one. First, I installed a new feature on the camera system. Bright floodlights triggered by motion, but only after a 5-second delay, giving me time to get the perfect footage. Second, I placed a large laminated sign on my fence. Private property. Trespassing will be prosecuted. And then, I waited. 2 nights later, 2:03 a.m. He returned. He climbed over the fence this time, trying to avoid the cameras he knew about. He didn't know about the ones he couldn't see. The moment he landed on the grass, the lights blasted on, flooding the yard with white light like a prison yard escape. He froze. And then he heard a loudspeaker voice from the camera. You are trespassing. Step away from the property. The authorities have been notified. He panicked, tripped, fell, scrambled back up, and sprinted out, practically throwing himself over the fence. And at 2:09 a.m., I got the email from Karen. You are now facing HOA penalties for unauthorized security equipment. She didn't even know what had happened yet. She just reacted to him running to her like a scared puppy, which was perfect. Because the next morning, at 9:27 a.m., I walked into the HOA board meeting with a laptop, a USB drive, and 3 neighbors I had quietly recruited, including Mrs. Hartley. When Karen saw me, she smirked, until the video started playing. Her smirk fell, her jaw clenched, her face drained color. There was her patrol officer on my property. There were her instructions in the emails. There were the timestamps showing repeated trespassing. The room fell silent. Then Mrs. Hartley spoke. Then Mr. Lopez. Then the couple from Lot 56. Turns out, I wasn't the only one she'd targeted. She had weaponized the HOA for years. The board voted unanimously. Karen was removed from her position. The patrol officer was fired. My violations were erased. And all homeowners received official apologies. But for me, the best moment was the look on Karen's face when she realized her reign, her little empire, was over. A week later, I got a friendly knock on my door. A board member. They offered me a seat on the HOA. I declined. I didn't want power. I wanted peace. And now, I finally have it.